Well, this is my first trip to India, and I've had the best time. It was so wonderful meeting so many wonderful kids and parents and teachers, and the food is wonderful too. We've had just the best time. It was wonderful meeting the kids from India. They were so enthusiastic. They're such good readers, and reading is really important to the communities who came to us, and it's such an honor to be a part of so many people who've come together to celebrate literacy. This whole event was organized by my family, really, at Scholastic, and especially Scholastic India. We've met so many wonderful people, so many dedicated people. And when I say family, I don't say it lightly. It really does feel like we've all come together with a purpose to change the world, to get kids excited about books, to put books into the hands of kids, and to change the world, really. And it's such an honor to be a part of this team. My newest book, which comes out in December, is called Dogman Fetch 22, and it has several themes. I think one of the themes is trying to do good even when everyone else around you is doing something different. It can be very, very hard, but it's very important to always follow your heart and always do good. And the other theme, I think, deals with fairness. I think sometimes people get caught up in the fact that, that wasn't fair, or it's not fair, she got this and I didn't get that. And I think it's really important to, instead of focusing on fairness, focus on gratitude, because I think gratitude is something that we all really need to look at, because life isn't fair. And I think most of us should be very, very grateful that it's not fair, because most of us have been very, very blessed. I think my favorite children's book growing up was not actually a children's book in general, but it was more of a collection of comics. I used to love Charlie Brown and Snoopy. In the United States, they call it Peanuts. Do they call it Peanuts? And okay, all right. And so I loved those stories. I loved the characters, and I also loved to draw them. I was always drawing Charlie Brown and Snoopy especially, and I think that's one of the ways that I taught myself to draw. I never took any formal art lessons. I was always drawing characters that I loved, and characters that had an emotional resonance with me, and it was Peanuts. Well, I've always been writing comics ever since I was in second grade. That's when I started writing comics, and I actually made my own comics all the way through high school. It wasn't until I got into college that I had a professor in English who recognized that she told me that I was a good writer, and I'd never even known that. But she said to me, "Have you ever thought about writing a children's book? Because you like to draw and you're a good writer." And it was the first time anyone had ever said that to me, and it meant so much to me. It had such a profound impact on me that I started writing my first book that week. I think I like writing better than illustrating, because writing is a challenge for me, and writing is very mysterious. I never know. I don't know where the stories come from. And it can be scary, because I don't know if I'll ever come up with another one. But with drawing is something that I've always loved as well. And but that's easier. I think I like things that are more challenging. When I'm conceptualizing a new book, usually the story comes first. I often get my ideas when I'm walking around in nature, or if I'm kayaking, anytime I can get outside, or even in the city, walking around the city, and letting my mind wander. That's very important. And then I go back to my studio and I do sketches. And once I get everything finalized, I get a big stack of paper and a blue pencil, and I start doing my drawings. And I have a pen. I dip it in India ink, and that's how I draw all my drawings. And I use a brush, and that's where the art comes in. So the art always comes last. I think if I had to choose a favorite book or character, I think it would be Dogman. Not Captain Underpants, but Dogman. And I think probably the reason is deals with superpowers. Captain Underpants can punch through a wall. He can he can fly in the air, and he can do all these amazing things. But Dogman can't. He doesn't have any superpowers. He just has what we all have. He has his imagination, and he has his enthusiasm, and he has his good heart. And so I think he's more relatable, at least to me, because we all have these things, and I think we can all be superheroes if we use them. Right now, I'm currently working on Dogman 9, which is called Dogman, Grime and Punishment. And it's a story about Dogman, and he's going deep undercover as a cat to try to save the world from a cat who's trying to take over the world. One of the things that started happening with the Dogman series is, I think with book 3, the theme of classic literature started to work its way into the stories. And I think it's just because when I was in college, I read a lot of classic literature stories. I read a lot of Charles Dickens, a lot of Mark Twain. One of the stories that I really loved is John Steinbeck's East of Eden. And I thought it would be kind of fun to incorporate some of the themes of those stories, not really the structure or the ideas, but the themes behind it. I think the themes are so universal. You see them in all kinds of literature all throughout the ages, and I thought it might be fun to create my own stories based on these universal themes.